Well, hello, it's Tina Konstant here, and welcome to the Waffle-Free Fireside. Now, waffle-free means waffle-free anywhere, so wrap your hands around a mug of something delicious, put your feet up, and here's a fireside story about the real origins of night and day. Now, way back at the dawn of time, a boy stared at the first flame ever to light the earth. Trapped in a jar as it was, the boy grinned as the flame burned and flickered and danced. It taunted the flame by giving it just enough air to stay alive and then starving it until it almost died. His parents looked at what he was doing and said, on more than one occasion, I have to say, "Don't try to control what is not yours to control." But the child ignored them and kept on playing with the flame. As you can imagine, every time the boy sucked air from the jar, the more enraged the tiny flame became. The angrier it got, the greater its heat grew, until, much to the flame's surprise, its heat expanded and created a thin crack in the jar. Air flowed in, and the flame bloomed. And it saw that the boy hadn't noticed. Strength flowed through the little flame until it felt like fire. But it held back. It didn't know what it really wanted. All it did know is that it wanted the boy to feel the agony it had felt, trapped in this jar. So the flame cooled itself and flickered meekly, waiting and watching. But while it watched, it also stretched into the world outside the jar to see what it could learn. Just a little, bit by bit, the heat from the flame seeped out through the crack. It was so slow and so steady that the boy didn't notice. The one who did notice was the boy's sibling, a girl, his twin. She had been watching her brother from a distance for a long, long time, as any sibling would who had been denied access to a toy she coveted. She saw the heat seep out of the jar, and while her brother's back was turned, she drew the heat to her and made a deal. "I will help you escape," she said, "if you do just one thing for me." The heat from the flame was intrigued. "Destroy him," the girl said. "Make him disappear. If you do that, I will break the jar and set you free." Now, because the little flame was the first flame, it didn't fully understand what the girl was asking. But in its heart, the flame understood vengeance. Young as it was, it knew hate and love, passion and desire. It felt like these were things it owned. It agreed to destroy the boy, but it refused to say how it would do it. And to the girl's horror, the heat from the flame reached out and wrapped itself around her. She tried to break free, but the heat whispered, "It's not wise to control what is not yours to control." As it spoke, it sucked the warmth out of her body, then reached out, wrapped around her brother, and let that heat flow into him. In a moment, the boy was engulfed in a raging fever that tore through him. He coughed and shook and choked. From where the girl sat, cold and frozen, she watched her brother burn up. Inside the jar, the little flame watched and danced. With its tormentors helpless on the floor, the flame stretched out. It bloomed, it grew, it shattered the jar and became whole. The burning, scorching flame laughed as the children reached out for each other. It laughed as they joined hands. It laughed as they hugged each other and begged each other for forgiveness. The flame stopped laughing when the heat from the boy flowed back into the girl, leaving them both in balance. For a moment, there was silence. The siblings stared at the flame, 10 times bigger than it used to be. The flame glared at the children. It grew, scorched and singed the walls. Everything the flame touched fed it, making it bigger and broader, larger and hotter. The children, feeling heat like they had never felt before, ran out of their home, over the caves, through the valley, over rivers, through forests, and the flame chased them. Everything it touched, it scorched and burned. The siblings ran and didn't stop until they reached the top of a mountain. They ran into a cave where they fell to their knees and begged their ancestors to save them from the angry flame. "We'll do anything," they pleaded. The ancestors listened. They had been watching the children and had known that trouble was coming. They also knew that the flame was so angry it would chase the siblings wherever they ran. So the ancestors wrapped the mountain around the children and threw it high, high into the sky, so high that no one could reach them. The flame, in its fury, leapt off the earth and followed the children into the sky. The children, still feeling the heat on their backs, kept running around and around, chased by the furious, angry, relentless fire. And to this day, the chase goes on. All you have to do is look to the sky to know it's true. So now you know the real story, Waffle-Free style. So welcome to the Waffle-Free Storytelling Fireside. Get in touch, join me on social media, hug the people you love, see the show notes for a bit of the waffle around the story, drop into www.tinakonstant.com, and well, we'll just keep the conversation going. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye. Hey. Biscuits later, Jack.